record this, Shalene will kill me. So we are recording. It is April 28th, Fam Jam team call. Let's just start off with some recognition. If you have something, go ahead, unmute yourself, and let's kick this off.
Okay, I can go.
Yeah, don't be shy.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm super excited because I get to shout out a few people today, which I don't often get to do. As my team is growing, I'm getting so excited. I love watching these new coaches blossom. So Sarah, so far, she's my PS coach's coach, but she's sitting in a SC2, so she's on the board, which I love. Christy just locked in Success Club for the first time. She's been a coach now for 2 months and locked in SC6 last night with her challenge packs, which is absolutely amazing. She's been working so hard. She just finished her first free group, which she took on all by herself. So proud of her for doing that. And then Sonia has joined us not even a week ago as a VIP member with this Let's Get Up promo code. And she signed up 3 VIP members, got herself to Emerald, and locked in SC in less than a week. Absolutely amazing. So super excited for this team and all the people that they're helping.
I couldn't agree more with that. That is amazing. Anybody else?
Can I go?
Go ahead.
This is my first time. Yay.
Yeah, I love it.
I'd like to give a shout out to Sarah Rainsford. She is signed up as coach 2 days ago, and she is my first working coach. So it's very exciting and a big learning curve for me. And Sarah has already reached SC2, and she's only 2 days in. And a huge shout out to Kaylee for helping me through all of this. It's a big learning curve, and she's been super, super helpful for both of us.
That is amazing. Amazing. Welcome to the team. Who's next?
I'll go. I'm like trying to move closer to my router because my Wi-Fi is like so crazy, but this is important. I'm so excited. I want to give a huge shout out to Cresta, over 1100 PV, and it was the team call was a little too soon last week. Last like few hours of Wednesday, she locked in a 1-star qual. It was a little wonky on the tech side, but Jara, I appreciate your help. So she's officially in 1-star qual, and I'm so proud of her. I know how hard she's been working with her girls and how proud she is of them. So it's going to be a fun next few weeks. My new coach, Brandy, we welcomed her last week. She actually did the same thing as well. Final few hours of last Wednesday, locked in Emerald. So she officially is an Emerald coach, and we're so proud of her. I'm just so excited to get to know everyone on this team, soak in all the knowledge, and really just embrace everything that this business has to offer her personally and professionally. And then last but not least, Cassie, over 1300 PV, and so darn proud to say that tomorrow it is official. She will be a diamond coach, and I am so freaking proud of her. She's worked so hard. I know that she's on the call right now as she's at work. I'm just so proud of her and her team and the women that she is really guiding through this journey. So
that is amazing. You guys are on fire right now. I love it. I love the vibe of your team. You girls are awesome. You know, having an opportunity, I said this last week, but having an opportunity to work with Cresta in Team Cup, where I got to see her let loose and really grow into what she's growing right now is absolutely incredible. So I'm so proud of you guys. You guys just keep crushing it. Anybody else?
I'm going to go really quick before my kids get loud.
All right, let's hear it.
I wanted to give a huge shout out to Vanessa and to Liz. They're both at SC9, and they're going to be locking in their 6 weeks of diamond, and they've been growing their teams amazing. And I think this locks them up for team builder as well for both of them. So I'm super excited for them. Asil is on fire with SC10. I am like, I don't even think I've ever hit SC10, you guys. So I'm like, that is incredible. Let me see what else is on my bar, sorry. And Camila SC2, Vanessa, and Trey at SC2 as well. But I'm just excited because all of the girls in the SD squad are like, I'm just blown away. I am like speechless at everything that they do every day. And I'm so proud. So that's it.
Can I go? So tomorrow, first shout out, Marisol is officially locking in her 1-star diamond. And then 4 weeks, she is going to be 2-star. So she's in qual for 2-star while locking in 1-star. So it's just amazing. She's been pouring in so much in her team. That's why they're growing. And I'm just so amazed to see all of it. I also wanted to shout out Shani. She has 8 coaches now, so close to diamond, but also for recognizing where she needs to adjust to find life balance. I think we all kind of hit this point sometimes of like, okay, where do I put my time? And I'm so proud of her for streamlining herself. And I want to shout out Melissa for hitting Emerald officially. And I'm just like super proud of all of them. And also shout out to Trish, Jer, Shailene, and Danielle for answering all my questions. I think sometimes I blow you guys up a lot, but I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. That's what this team is here for. We're here to support one another. So we are absolutely here for you guys. Anybody else?
Yeah, I have one real quick as well. I have a couple. I want to shout out Danielle, Mari, and Cresta first and foremost, because they are just such incredible leaders, incredible mentors. And man, I love working with you guys. And I feel like I don't tell you enough how much I truly appreciate all your guidance, because it allows me to really grow as a leader myself and be able to mentor the team that I'm continuing to build. So thank you very much for all of the support that you guys have given me in this past year. And Amelia is at SC5. She is doing absolutely amazing as well. She's just this firecracker, but she hides. And I just can't wait until she really just shows her face and is a little more vocal about who she is. And everything comes at its own time, but I'm just so excited to see how she's growing and coming into her own and leading as well. Angelica is sitting at SE6, and Angelica and I had a beautiful conversation earlier today about just growing her team and seeing what her goals are within the business and where she sees this going. And she's definitely going in the right direction. So super proud of her. And Eliana, I was blown away by Eliana. A couple days ago, she reached out to me and she's like, Liz, I want to be a diamond. What do I do? And I was just like, what? Wait. We just hit Emerald and you're already talking diamond. Let's do this. So she was the one that came to me and asked to be plugged into whatever it is that she needed in order to learn and to be able to navigate and get her there. So she's all plugged in where she needs to be. Super proud of her. She is sitting at SE6.
Beautiful. That is awesome. Anybody else? I got a couple if no one else is.
Me.
Let's hear it, Kaylee.
My turn. First and foremost, I'm not sure if she's on the call because I'm on my phone and I can't see everybody and it's so weird. But welcome to new coach Mel. I'm so excited she's joined us. She's reminds me of how I started, just like already having my own small little challenge Facebook group going, and lots of people already doing workouts. So I'm really excited to see what she does, and she's already asking questions and signing some people up. So I'm hoping she will take advantage of those promo codes that'll come. Shout out to Kelly for getting on the SC board this month. Lindsay, just so happy with Lindsay. She's just like game planning so much for these promo codes and getting so excited, and you can just feel it when you talk to her, and it just excites me so much. And of course, Rachel, SC6, kicking ass, so close to diamond. This girl, she's right there, and I just can't wait to see her hit it. I'm super excited for the Meltdown Moms. Great work, everybody.
I love it. Anybody else?
Nicole's not on the call, but she asked me to shout out her brand new coach who actually has her very first share card out. So massive shout out to Kim. And she just got stuck. Nicole got stuck at work, but I also want to say a massive congratulations to Nicole. This is the first time she's had recognition. She's so bummed that she's not on the call to actually say it. But I just want to give a massive shout out to her for having that recognition and working so hard and consistent at everything that she does on that bat. It's just incredible to watch her really build that confidence over time, and lean into the team with you guys. A massive shout out to everyone who's just always there for those coaches when they're ready to kind of step into their light and really shine. And before Jared takes over this whole call, I just want to remind you guys, tomorrow in the Facebook group, I'll put the link in the chat. There's the coach opportunity that's happening all day. Plug in your prospects into that group. Anyone who's interested in coaching, anyone you think would make a really great coach, come check it out. Just sneak peek around. There's no obligations, commitments. They can just pop in there. And then we're starting our BOD group coach training on Monday, May 3rd. So we're following this coach opportunity up tomorrow. They can sign up this weekend using those promo codes, get their businesses going with the Let's Get Up launch starting on Monday. And we have our Getting Started Right call Monday night as well. So this is the perfect time to set your new coaches up for success. I'll drop it in the chat, and over to you, babe.
All right. Okay. So a couple things. I just wanted to shout out Danielle Ray, because she has been busting her ass lately, as well as her team. And she is officially going into 1-star qual tomorrow, which is absolutely incredible. To watch you grow over this past little while has been absolutely incredible. Even though you said no to me and yes to Shalane, I forgive you, but you are rocking it. And I love watching your team grow. So congrats to you. 1-star qual, 6 weeks. Here we go. We also have another 1-star qual on this team. Kaylee, I believe, is going into 1-star qual tomorrow. And she's been busting her ass to get it back. And you guys, I just checked her downline. She has over 20 coaches active, which is absolutely crazy. So good job for you, Kaylee. And I know Nicole's not on this call, but I want to shout her out because she has been working so hard. And like I said, but it would have been her first opportunity for a shout out. And she's actually getting her emerald back tomorrow. So she is going to be excited about that. But we are extremely proud of this team and the growth that's happening right now. Shalene and I just couldn't be more proud of you guys. So congrats to everybody. And without further ado, let's get into this team call, because it couldn't be coming at a more perfect time with these promo codes, all about taking action and putting your best foot forward. We have the pleasure of having our corporate mentor, Jake Story. He is the regional Canadian senior director, I believe. Is that right, Jake?
Senior manager.
Yeah. And he has been a mentor for Shalene and I for the last 2.5 years. And not only that, he's been an incredible friend and there for us every step of the way. There was a lot of things in this business that Shalene and I couldn't have done without Jake in our corner. So we are extremely lucky and blessed to have him on this team call. And without further ado, Jake, I'm going to turn it over to you because this is perfect timing.
I'm so excited to be here. Jer and Shalene, thank you so much for having me. Before I get into it, shout out to Kiata, who won and the Take Action Challenge. So super impressive to see that too. So hopefully you guys are filling out your trackers in your back office, creating your BOD groups, inviting your BOD groups, adding your BOD groups, and kind of crushing that Take Action Challenge. So there's that on top of the new CEO promo codes I could talk about for the next hour, but here's the deal. I think you guys are in good hands when it comes to that promo code. So we want to talk about, I'm going to bring a message here today that it's really been relevant on my mind lately. And it's all about what's going on up here. Okay. And so we're going to pull some stuff. And so the theme of this call, this little message that I want to share is how you do anything is how you do everything. Right. And so it's one of that mentality of like, you either do it or you don't. Like, you've just got to show up and present yourself and living your best life, right? And I think this Let's Get Up program, maybe it's this program, because guys, it's brought something out of me. Like, it's changed my perspective on working out. It's changed my perspective on just so many things, because you forget that working out is just moving your body and having so much fun. And my wife has even been telling me, she's like, if I was a coach, I would be all in on this program. She's like, I haven't had this much fun in a program ever. And so there's something special about what's going on. So when you look at the program, the promo codes that have never happened in the history of Beachbody, okay? Like, this is just unprecedented times. Why not why not go all in? You guys just heard like Kaylee, Danielle, Cresta, Marisol, like so many diamonds are popping and star diamonds are popping. Like, this is incredible. So you look at all this and you say, okay, how do you maintain this and how do you kind of level that up, right? And I think it all starts with what's going on up here. So we're going to pull from some funny stuff that is just kind of crazy that I've kind of come across in my personal studies in terms of like my personal development. And it affects how we show up and how we do things. Okay. So first off, we're going to talk about being silly. You guys, being silly is like my motto in life. Like, you've just got to be goofy and have fun. If you've watched any of my reels lately with it's just all about how you enjoy yourself. Okay. But here's the crazy part. Did you know that will impact you physically? And it will have improvements on your physical fitness. It will have improvements on so many other aspects of your life. So here's the study I want to reference. So this was done by a Harvard professor. So she was writing a book and she decided to conduct this study. And so she took 8 70-plus-year-old men and she put them into a controlled environment. Okay. Now, when these men showed up, they were like on walkers, canes. They were in their 70s. They had lived a life. They were a little slow to get around, right? And the controlled environment was everything was 2 decades prior to that current situation. Cars, newspapers, TV shows, TVs, like everything was 2 decades prior. What they came to find is just being in that environment, they came back a week later, 7 days later, and these guys were playing touch football in the front yard. Okay, so they show up on walkers and canes, and a week later, they're playing touch football. And the whole reason was everything that was exposed to them was 2 decades prior. And so they had this understanding of like, oh, I'm younger. And that belief that they were younger affected their physical fitness. So I bring this up to say, we think physical fitness makes us younger. It's how we act in all reality. Like, how you think up here and how you go into your workouts is actually more impactful than doing the workouts, right? There was another study done where they had 2 controlled groups. They gave them the exact same pill, but to one group, they said, look, this pill is actually going to make your biceps grow. You don't have to do a single thing. Okay. The other ones, they said, guess what? This pill's not going to do anything for you, but we're going to monitor you. Okay. So you have one group, both taking the exact same thing. They wore monitors on their biceps. They didn't work out. They didn't do like anything extra. They just took this pill. That was it. Everything else stayed the exact same. The people who were told their biceps would grow by taking this, their biceps grew 13%. All because they thought it was doing something. Okay. So why do I talk about these things and how is this relevant to closing a month strong and being in this moment and maintaining momentum? Okay. Your mindset is everything. If you believe it, your body reacts to it. Oh, I believe my biceps going to grow by taking nothing. Oh my gosh, my biceps grew, right? I feel younger. You hear people say that all the time. Guys, I will be 33 on like next Wednesday. Okay. So 1 week, I'm going to be 33. I seriously feel, and like, I think about it. I'm like, I can't believe I'm going to be 30. Like, I feel like I'm not even 25. And on a maturity aspect, I'm sure that's very relevant if you ask my wife. And so, but all that is, sometimes I think we just have it backwards in the sense that we think that working out makes us younger. It's just the belief makes us feel better, which causes us to want to work out, right? And so this whole mentality of, if you want to be longevity, well, then act young, be young. If you want to be a 5-star leader, then be a 5-star leader. Act like it now. What are you waiting for? If you want to be a star diamond, do it. What you believe and what you think will come true, because then you're willing to do whatever it takes. So when it comes to momentum and it comes to all this, it really comes down to what's going on up here, right? A question I love to ask leaders when I get on a call with them, what are you guys afraid of? Because I'll often get people who say like, I'm doing everything, but my business isn't moving forward. Okay. There's two things. I know exactly what's going on when you tell me that. I'm doing all the things, but I'm not seeing the results. Okay. Number one, you're not inviting and showing up confidently. And guess what, people, I don't care what it is. I can take a picture, and if I feel like crap, I could look good in the picture and everybody's going to be like, something's off. Like, I don't get how you can see it and you're just like, I don't know, but they do. They sense it. Okay. And so the other thing is you're afraid of something. And when you're afraid of something and you don't address it, that fear becomes bigger. Are you afraid of judgment? Are you afraid of letting somebody down? Are you afraid of being overbearing? Are you afraid of actually being successful because you're like, well, what am I going to do? Guess what? You're going to excel because you know exactly what to do, right? So we have all these weird fears, but when we don't address them, they're like massive in our minds. But the second I address it and I'm like, oh, I'm kind of afraid of what people think about me. When I just say that, I'm already like, that sounded ridiculous, right? Like, oh my gosh, what am I, like, I had this conversation the other day. I'll be fully candid with you guys. Talking to my wife, I have two Instagram accounts. I have my work and my personal account, right? All my reels and all my stuff have been on my work account, and show up to a family thing. And I like didn't want to bring stuff up because I'm like, man, if they see that, they're going to think I'm ridiculous because I'm like dancing on social media. And I'm the youngest of 5 kids. So I'm like, I care about what they think. But then as I like told my wife this, I was like, yeah, I'm a little afraid of what they think. And she's like, why? And I'm like, you know what? That's kind of true, because I am the only sibling. Like, out of us 5, I'm the only one that would ever get up on stage and do a presentation. Like, my siblings would die before that happened, right? I am the extrovert in a family of introverts, like severely, painfully shy introverts. So then it's funny to me because like their expectation is, yeah, he would totally do that on social media. And my expectation is like, I don't want them to judge me. And then when I said it, I was like, that's like the dumbest thing ever. Like, they're my siblings. I know what they think of me. And then it was like this whole thing. And now all of a sudden, like, my mom's commenting on my work account, and like they all went and found it and they were all following. I'm like, okay. So like, it's just the dumbest thing, right? I took the fear away. I took its power away by addressing it. So all of this is to say this: your mind controls your actions, your mind controls your results, and your mind controls where you are going to go in life. If you want to be 50 and feel like you're 30, starts up here, right? You can be 50 and have all that knowledge, but still feel like you're 30, okay? And you can be a 5-star leader, but right now you're diamond, but it doesn't mean that you're not acting like it, right? And so you need to level up in this sense. So it is the 28th, right? 28th. You have 2 days left, really. Yeah, 29th and 30th. 2 days left of this month. What are you going to make of those 2 days, right? And beyond that, you have a customer launch on May 3rd. So then coming out of the weekend, you have a massive customer launch with brand new, like, again, revolutionary promo codes. And you guys saw what it did for the coach window. Like, when it was specifically like only coaches could get this deal, we set records through 3 days. Okay. And now you have 6 days. So one means you might get a little bit more sleep because it's a little bit longer period. So you can get a little bit more sleep leading up to those last 2 days before you stop sleeping. Right. And 2 is, this is for everybody. Okay. And I don't care. I was a firm believer when that sizzle video came out and I was like, man, Shaun T looks awesome in that. I will never do that program. Literal thoughts. Okay. Jer's with me. I get it. And then I'm talking to coaches and I'm like, you need to go all in. This is your job. And then I was like, wait, it's kind of my job too, isn't it? Like, I need to be doing the exact same thing I'm preaching. And so I challenged a couple of my coaches, guys, I cannot tell you what this program has done for me. This program is revolutionary. And for the pandemic, for you Ontarian, or Ontario, how do you guys even say that? You Ontario people, Ontarioans, we'll say it that way. For you Ontario people and the Quebecois and everybody else that's on like their 4th month in a row of just 28-day quarantines, like this is ridiculous. You need this program more than ever. Legit. You will smile, you will laugh, you will feel ridiculous, and you will walk away feeling empowered. Truth right there. So when everything's said and done, I know you guys have had like back-to-back just powerhouse. Let's see. Ontario is a hot mess. I've been watching their news. You guys, good luck is all I'm going to say to you. Okay. Beyond that, I've seriously, like, this program has been so much fun. And even my wife, who's not a dancer, like, I hear her out here working out at 10 a.m. every single day. That's her time. She likes to get up, eat breakfast. She'll clean the house a little bit, and then she works out, right? And she's like, I've never had this much fun in a workout before. And she's like, even the weightlifting, like, I feel strong and like I'm having fun, and I wouldn't expect me to have fun when I'm lifting weights. And so we're in such an unprecedented time. And yet you want to know the most powerful tool that you can show up with right now: energy. Because the world is void of energy right now. So much of the pandemic, right? And guys, I was listening to the news the other day. But first off, that's my own fault. I was listening to the news. I never do that. Turned it on, and it was like India is having a new wave of COVID, right? And this and that. And I'm like, it's so freaking what? Like, I'm over it, right? And that's where people are getting their personal development, is going to the news every single day. I watched it for 5 minutes and I was exhausted. And if that's what you're going to every single day, I can't imagine how you feel, because I feel tired and I do personal development. I work out. I drink Shakeology. I take my Recover. I take care of myself. I eat decent. I'm not great, not terrible, right? I could be a lot better. But here's the fact, like, I'm doing those things and I feel exhausted sometimes. Take all that away. How do you expect people to feel? So a lot of the times I think people look at us and they say it's my content that's going to draw people in. False. It's your passion. It's your energy. It's how you show up. If I showed up on this call and I was like, all right, guys, I got a really cool message for you. So we're going to talk about some fun stuff, and just bear with me a little bit. We'll get through it, right? Are you going to be attracted to that? Like, no. That even just kind of doing that kind of felt really weird. I'm not going to lie. There's that example. I was like, this feels awful. I felt uncomfortable. So but sometimes we just think if I say the right thing, people are going to join me. No, it's how you show up. It's how you present yourself. So again, all this to say this: do you want to have a successful month of April? Because look, the momentum's here. You guys, I just listened to that recognition. The momentum's here right now. This team's on fire. So how do you maintain that? Believe in yourself. Start believing what you desire to be. Okay. I'll end with this principle, and then we can have some questions and answers. And this is the thing about it. So a lot of you don't know this, but when I, like 2008 to 2012. So back in those years, I struggled heavily with depression. Okay. And it was to the point where, like, I knew I was depressed and I didn't care. I was miserable, and that's just the way it was, because it was easier to be miserable than smile. Okay. And I know people get to that point. And I had a wake-up call. Literally, my dad called me. He's trying to be all positive, and I was flipping everything negative because that's what I was good at. And he was like, you know what? And I was like, what, Dad? And he hung up. And I was like, oh. Called him back and was like, hey, phone cut out. And he's like, no, I hung up on you because I don't want to talk to you. And I was like, what? He's like, until you can add something to this conversation, I don't want to hear. So talk to me when you're ready to actually have a conversation. And he hung up again. And I was like, that was my realization of, like, this is bigger than just me. Okay. It's no longer just me. That's like, my depression is no longer just affecting myself. And it was at that moment I was like, I want change. Okay. I desire change. So I called my mom, who had also struggled with depression, throughout, and she was like, here's our family therapist. He's seen my mom, my uncle, like I think my brother's been there a couple times. And I was like, great, give me his number. Showed up, divulged my secrets, right? And this is what he said to me, guys. He was like, wow, you're perfectly normal. My response, if I was normal, would I be sitting on your black leather couch talking to you about my issues? And he was like, you're just hilarious because you are normal, but your thoughts aren't. And so he gave me a book called Loving What Is by Byron Katie, changing my life. Okay. And this is the premise of this book. There's the story you tell yourself and there's reality. The story you tell yourself. Here's an example. I had read and I started doing some personal development, but I was hearing about all these people that were like, I was working 80 hours a week. I was a full-time student and I was doing this and I finally made my millions. And I was like, well, if that's what they're doing, I can do it. So I was I was working like 60 hours a week. I took on 19 credit hours and I was like, I'm going to be awesome. I was still struggling with depression. I failed English. I failed math. And I was like, this did not go like it was supposed to, right? Now, here's what the story I told myself. You failed math because you're stupid. You failed math because you couldn't understand it. You failed math because you can't do math, right? But what was the reality? The reality was I didn't give myself enough time to study the principles. I didn't give myself enough time to actually learn the concepts. And I'm fully capable of learning math. I just didn't do it in the right process. So when I broke it down and I realized it took the pain away from failure because I was like, oh, I learned. So I took that math class again. Guys, it was a piece of cake. That's what's hilarious. I breezed through that class because I actually dedicated time and effort into learning the principles. So I give you these small snippets to say this. If you think you're young, you're young. If you think you're a 5-star, you're a 5-star. If you think you're a 10-star, you're a 10-star. Whatever you believe is how your body's going to react. Okay. If you think you're depressed, you'll be depressed. But if you think you're awesome, the world's your oyster. If you think better watch out and get out of my way, people better watch out and get out of your way because you're going places. And then people are going to judge you and they're going to be like, oh, you're crazy for doing that. And you're like, dang, freaking right, I'm crazy. And you wish you had some of my crazy, right? When you have that kind of confidence, you'll be shocked at how many people are like, I want what you're on. What are you doing? Show me what you're doing, please. Okay. And it's not the onboarding process that they're looking for. It's not, honestly, it's not the workout. It's not that. What they want is your confidence, your passion, your energy. They want to show up every single day like you. So if you're not showing up like that, how can I expect them to? So you have 2 days left. You have every opportunity to succeed, but you better start believing in it now. And for this customer launch, you better be prepped and ready because this is a huge thing and it's going to go like crazy. And I would say you're not going to miss it if you miss out on the 3rd, but guess what? You're going to miss it. If you're not prepped and ready, you're going to miss this because these promo codes are only good until May 5th. And I can't tell you, every single person that went all in with these CEO promo codes last time lost sleep over it, was diving in, working until midnight. Not a single one of them complained to me. Every single one of them was just like, that was so much fun. That was the wildest 72 hours. I didn't know I was capable of enrolling 12 people in 72 hours. I did it. I set new PRs. I have a better understanding of what I'm capable of doing. Never did I hear man, that sucked. I worked so hard and that was just crazy. I don't want to do that again. No, every single person that went all in is ready for round 2. Every single person that went all in had passion, had energy, and completely shifted the culture on their team because they went all in. So if you want success, it's up to you. If you want to be a 5-star, it's up to you. You can sit here and say, well, I need diamonds. Guess what? Your diamonds are up to you. Do you lead? And are you a leader? And are you showing up with enough energy for them to be like, I need what they're doing? Because if you're not, then do not expect that of your team. So start to look yourself in the mirror and be like, okay, we've got some changing to do. And that's a perfectly good conversation to have. And then you wake up the next day and you can look at yourself and you be like, look, we had an honest conversation yesterday. Okay. And I need to show up better today. So here's what I'm committed to doing. And then you go do it. Your passion and your energy and your belief of what's going on up here will dictate where you go in the next 3 days, 4 days, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 3 years, 10 years, 15 years. What you believe, that's what's capable of achieving. So start believing in yourself, because that's all you need. Start working with confidence, because that's what people need. And start having some freaking fun and being silly, because you're going to feel better. You're going to act younger. Your knees won't hurt as bad because your mind's into it. And you're just going to show up and like, what is this new me? All because you built a fort today. All because like my wife just came in. This is a funny story. They were playing animals. I could hear them on the trampoline today playing animals. And like my daughter would just be like, let's be an elephant. And they'd be an elephant. Let's be a pig. And they'd be a pig. Let's be this. And they were playing. And my wife was like laughing. She's like, I haven't played like that in the longest, and I loved it. She was being silly, and it affected how she felt. So this concept is go be silly, go do something like off the cuff, just be you. You're unique in your own right, whether you think so or not. So be you. And if you do that, I promise you'll see success. I promise you'll get to where you want to be, because everything is at your feet when you actually like who you are and you're actually excited about what you can become. So it starts up here. And if you're willing to have some fun, this journey is going to be a heck of a ride. I promise you. So with that being said, do you guys have any questions for me?
I just have a comment real quick.
Please.
I absolutely love what you said there, because I was held back, and Jake, you probably saw me the most grow over these last couple of years. But like when I first started this, I was so held back because I was so concerned about what people were going to think about me at work. I thought, what are the guys at work going to think? Because being a police officer, you're around these macho guys all day long. What are they going to think? Do you think 2 years ago I would be doing a dancing program? No chance in hell. I can guarantee you that. But I am a goofy guy. I love making Shalene laugh. So for me, this program has been the most fun for us, because we just get to be goofy and be ourselves. And that's what is so enjoyable about it, is that you can just let loose and don't give a shit about what people think. I love that you said your mind controls your actions. And something that I truly believe is that you are 100% where you are at in life right now due to the actions you've taken or not taken. Imagine if your mindset was in the right place to take you to the action that you need to get there. Like, think about that for a second, guys. If you are responsible for where you are in life right now because of actions you took or did not take, imagine if your mindset was in the right place to take you there. Imagine where you could be in 6 months, a year from now. Think about that, because that is very powerful to hear that your mind controls your actions, because it absolutely does. And it's absolutely true. So I love that you brought that up. I thought that was probably the biggest thing that I took away from that. As soon as you said it, it just was like, oh my God, that is so true. So I just wanted to comment on that. Guys, if you have any questions or anything for Jake, please just unmute yourself.
I always love this part because it's like being called into the principal's office. I ask for questions, like, oh my gosh, it's corporate. Like, I can't say anything. And then when I get off the call, it's like, oh, I have this question and this question. Okay, I heard something.
I'm the person who just like calls people out. I want to call on someone because I know I'm putting her on the spot right now, and she's probably going to kill me after this. Nicole, if she's paying attention. Hi. I want you to share what you just did, because you just had a transformation on this call as it happened. You sent me a photo in Messenger right now claiming something because of everything Jake just said. I would love for you to unmute and share what that was for you. And
okay. So I don't always have my mindset in the best spot. I struggle with that a lot. And what you said is like just manifesting it. I wrote down that I am a 1-star diamond because that is my big goal for the next 4 months, is to be a 1-star diamond. And I have my why written out right in front of me on my work spot. Like I see this like right in front of my face. Every day when I come downstairs for my workout, when I do all my work, it's right in front of my face. So yeah.
I freaking love that, Nicole. Guys, look, my wife thinks I'm psychotic sometimes, okay? And this is why. I speak crap into existence all the freaking time, okay? And she's kind of like on a train now where she'll ask me that questions like, what do you think? And I'm like, okay, you can't just like now take everything I say and think it's going to happen. But there have been big things that have happened in our life that I was like, this is going to happen. And then it happened. And she was like, are you kidding me? And like, I've told her about this principle of, I'm like, oh, I think I can talk stuff into existence sometimes. Like if you speak it, it starts to happen, right? When I was at my previous job, I was like, I need something new. And so I told her, I'm like, look, we're going to find a new job this year and it's going to be incredible. Okay. And what do you know? Found Beachbody, and Beachbody has changed our lives for so many different reasons and like so many incredible opportunities. And it's just been phenomenal for our family. And then like certain things have happened here. I'm like, this is going to happen. And so like, I started telling her this concept, and then one thing started to like come up, and I was like, look, watch, this is going to happen. I'm speaking it now. This is going to happen. And when it happened, she was like, why, how? You've done that with like 3 or 4 things. And I'm like, this is what it is. Your mindset dictates what actually happens, because it's the weirdest thing, but you can manifest stuff. And I truly believe, Nicole, you putting that out there and saying, you know what, I am like this, all of a sudden you just shifted and you acted differently. You acted differently because all of a sudden you just have this belief that that's who I am. And so I'm so appreciative, like sitting on this call, listening to you guys. Like I literally have the chills right now because there's so much momentum. Right now is such an opportune time. And I just want you guys to know this. If you think you're capable of doing it, you absolutely are, right? Henry Ford, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. It starts with what you believe in. But if you want to be young forever, start believing that you're young now. Start believing that you can have fun and think like, what would somebody do? Like, best advice I've ever been given. He's my spirit animal, Dan Thurman. He spoke at one of our leadership events a couple years back. He's 55 and he's doing backflips and cartwheels and stuff on stage. And I was just like, this guy, and he's short. Well, you know, he's my people, right? And I literally got texts from team members like, Jake, this is you, and like when you're 55. And I was proud, but then I ran into him at one of the events. And so I took my opportunity to be like, look, can I ask you a question? I was like, you're 55, you're doing backflips. What's the advice you would give somebody who wants, like, you're my spirit animal? And he was like, best advice I've ever been given. If you never stop doing something, you never forget it. And I was like, that's like so simple. And yet, when's the last time we did monkey bars? Right? I do it now and I'm like, oh my gosh, my shoulders, which I never thought I would have shoulder pain from doing it. But guess what? If you hang daily, it's great for your shoulders. If you do these things, I'm like, all this stuff, right? When's the last time you went down a slide? I was going down slides. I was the only adult going down slides the other day. And like all the kids were looking at me like I'm psycho, but my daughter was expecting me to come because that's who I am. I go down the slides, right? And so it's just like, when's the last time we've done all these things? We forget how, if you stop doing something, you'll forget how much joy it brings you. If you stop doing something, you'll forget how to do a certain concept, principle, whatever. When's the last time you did the quadratic formula? Couldn't tell you. Couldn't do a problem to save my life. That's fine. But I do backflips all the time. I can still do them, right? And so it's just this whole thing. So I just want to wrap this up by saying this. You guys are fully capable of doing anything you set your mind to. But controlling the mind is the hardest part, because you create false positives. You create false scenarios. You create these falsities that you just want to believe in. And then when you believe in that falsity, your body reacts accordingly. So I promise you, if you can learn to control your thoughts and you can think of yourself as a 5-star, you will become a 5-star. If you can think of yourself as a social media influencer, you will grow your following like nobody's business. If you believe you are capable of doing X, Y, Z, it will happen, because it all starts up here. So to maximize, to do everything you need to, believe in yourself. Because guess what? Everybody on this call believes in you. So why don't you believe in you? Right. And it's that whole concept of that. So I appreciate you guys. Jared, Shalane, thank you so much for having me on. I always appreciate coming on and joining Fam Jam and you guys. And like, there's just so many powerhouses on here, and to hear how much momentum you guys have gotten over just the last 30 days is incredible. And so it's all up to us, but I promise you're capable of so much more than you're giving yourself credit for. So start to unlock those boxes and think, man, I could do some pretty cool things, because you're going to do some pretty cool things. So thank you for being on here with me today, guys. I really appreciate your time.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jake. Like I said, we appreciate your time and always being there for us and this team and anyone for Beachbody in that matter. You are probably one of the most incredible mentors that I've ever had an opportunity to work with. And I've worked with a lot in other businesses, but we appreciate you more than you could even imagine, my friend. So thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you. That means more than you'll ever know. So I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks. Have a wonderful evening. Go do something silly and have some fun. I promise it'll change your life. Bye, everybody.
All right. Take care. All right, guys. Have a great night. Take care.